Coaches Roundtable. I'm Ed Codi, and welcome our guest, Butler High grad, University of Pittsburgh star offensive lineman Jake Kradel. Jake, thanks for joining us. Hard for me to believe this is going to be your 6th year at the University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. It's definitely been a short 6 years. It seems like it's real crazy how fast it goes. Every year I feel like it's faster and faster and faster. And I look back and I'm like, wow, I can't believe that I'm a super senior, as they call us now.
And to get started, you already have your undergraduate degree in business.
Yep, in finance.
And you're now in one of the renowned Cat School of Business, getting your MBA in finance.
Yes, sir. I'm super close to obtaining my MBA. I'm like 15 credits away, so I'm super excited to get that. That's been a big goal of mine. Academically, is just trying to achieve as much as I could. In the classroom as I do in the field.
Well, don't forget us when you become a millionaire. Hey, let's look at something. Last year, at the end of the season, you made the ACC third-team offense. And now all publications, your preseason ACC second-team offense, all your hard work's paid off, and you deserve that recognition.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in that. I'm real thankful they picked me second team. Going into the season, preseason, but at the end of the day, like I always tell people, it's always at the end of the day, like at the end of the season, where am I? And that's hopefully I'm first team. All ACC center. That's my ultimate goal. That's what I'm gonna try to achieve. This summer, the season, just work towards that.
Jake, this is your 6th year, so I have to ask you, with all the movement and transfer portal, what has made you stay at Pitt?
Just the loyalty from the coaches, and I'm a hometown kid, so I couldn't see myself ever leaving for any type of reason, like money, none of that stuff interests me. I'm from here. I want to chase a championship. I want to win a national title here, for Butler, Pittsburgh, and all the surrounding areas. But I have no interest in any of that, and I've always been playing, so I guess I could see why some kids would leave for playing time, but I guess I've been in the boat where I've played for the last 5 years.
You've seen them come and go,
right?
And my way of thinking, I've been followed Pitt football for a long, long time. This is your 6th year. Correct me if I'm wrong. When your 6th year is over, you'll have played in more games and taken more snaps than any other player in Pitt football history.
There might be a chance that I'm not too sure. My one of my good buddies, Kyle Adamitis, I think has the total career start record for like anyone. I think he was
a long snapper.
He's
with the Bengals now.
Exactly. So he started 5 straight years, didn't miss one game.
Yeah.
So I think that was 60 games. So I won't be able to break that.
We're going to say, close. As a regular player,
yes,
on the starting unit, I can't imagine anyone having more than you.
Right. I'll be close. I think. There was a guy in my old GA the past 3 years, Alex Foster. He had 48 consecutive starts. So I'll be close to
Well, you have to push EJ Borghetti and get him on that and tell him he needs to get with that and find out for sure. You're a veteran back in the offensive line, 3 starters altogether. Your offense was pretty good last year. That ground game, 188 yards rushing game, and of course Israel Abanikanda had a great year in the super game against Virginia Tech when he broke Tony Dorsett's record. How old am I? I was there when Tony Dorsett rushed for 303 against Notre Dame at Pitt Stadium. And then there last year when Abanikanda broke his record. What did he have, 316 yards?
I think 320 and 6 touchdowns, which was unbelievable. It goes to show, Coach Signetti's offense, his run game, how detailed it is and how they get us prepared each week. And, that's what we can do, We just, make our blocks and running backs let them.
And when you mention that, make our blocks, how fired up do you guys get when a running back like Abanikanda is having that kind of game? I'm sure you're on a roll. You don't want to hear a pass play called.
At that point, yeah, when we're running that good, I'm like, let's just keep running it. Let's just break their will. That's the easiest way to break a defense as well, is when you just keep running 10, 15, 20, breaking 80-yarder, or 5, just keep that up, and I love just running the ball.
And Pitt's always had that physical toughness. The old saying was, you got to hit to play at Pitt, and it's still there. So the season, we say September 2nd. It's not that far off. You're in summer workouts. You're going to open up the season with Wofford, and then you have Cincinnati, and then national TV down in Morgantown against West Virginia. Big game. Of course, that was a big game last year. And then in October, man, you have Wake Forest, at Notre Dame, and then home for Florida State 3 straight weeks. So important for you guys to get off to a good start.
100%. We got to just take it week by week and just see where the season goes. That's the way we look at it. It doesn't matter who the first one is, Wofford or it could be Clemson. We're going to treat them all the same because if you don't, then that's when you let a game slip.
You've been there. That's happened.
100%.
It was a few years ago when it was Western Michigan.
Yep.
Knocked you guys
and
off.
If we win that, we'd be in contention to go to the playoffs.
And I've been at Pitt Stadium when Bowling Green upset the Panthers. Youngstown State did. So you got to look at that opening game and really be focused. In the last 2 years, top 25 rankings, 20 wins. If you win 10 games this year, it would be the first time in 40 years that the Panthers won 30 games in 3 years. You guys talk about that?
I don't know if we necessarily talk about that. I think we just talk about upholding that standard and keep rising the standard. It's like you said, 20 games in the past 2 years is great. 2 top 25 finishes is awesome. But now what can we do to keep up in that standard? Is it going to be 10 wins or hey, let's get 12 wins. Let's go in the ACC and let's give ourselves a shot in the playoff this year. So that's what we keep talking about. We know we're the hunted, you know what I mean? But we're just going to keep going out and do the hunting pretty much.
Now, you're going to have a new quarterback this year, a guy you're familiar with. You played against him when he played at Pine Richland. They had great teams down there. And then you played against him when he was a quarterback at BC. They beat Pitt 30-29 at Chestnut Hill. How much of a difference has it made for Phil to come in, his transition? And, of course, he's reunited with his former offensive coordinator, Frank Signetti Jr. from Boston College as your offensive coordinator last year.
It's great having a local guy back, someone that just, he is Pittsburgh, you know what I mean? He brings that gritty factor that I think we were missing last year. So it's nice to have him back, back home where he belongs. And like you said, him coming back into an offense he's familiar with that he played in 2 years, at BC when they beat us back in 2020. It's just great to see the learning curve for him isn't as steep as it is for most people. So it's great to, have him back and excited to see what he can do this year for us.
Jake, let me ask you something. This is your 6th year playing under Narduzzi. What's it like to play for Coach Pat Narduzzi?
It's great. He brings an energy to practice every day. He gets after us. He's hard on us, which is good because he just, he wants the best out of us. He wants us to be the best football player, the best man that we can be. So, I mean, it's great. I really enjoy it, and I just hope, we can end my 6 years off the right way.
You can play both guard and center. I know you're a smart guy. You don't get into Cat School of Business and major in finance. So that should draw attention from the guys at the next level, your versatility in the offensive line and your smarts.
100%. That's where I think, being versatile is going to help me, get through this season. If coaches want to play me at left, right guard, or center, wherever they want to play me, I'll play. And like you said, for the next level, that's huge. Being a guy that can play 3 positions, they want to carry guys like that. They want a guy that just can play only right guard. They want someone that can play all 3. So it's huge, and I really like the center position. Making the calls and directing the running back. Where to go and pass protection.
Yeah, be like a coach on the field.
100%
to do all that. So, Jake, let me ask you. So much talk about NIL, and I hear the transfer portal and coaches. Coaches are making $7-8 million a year. They're decrying the whole process. This isn't the NFL. I want to hear from you and the inside and what you and your teammates think about NIL and a concern that some have that this can destroy college football. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's it's something that's good for us athletes. If someone has a great reputation, they should be able to make money off of that. They shouldn't be held back by some rules or laws. I mean, if they're able to make $100,000 a year just playing college football, that's what they should be able to make. But I think it comes at a time where us athletes can't abuse it. You know what I mean? There's a point where I'm only going to play if I get this X amount. The people are choosing schools because of it now, and I think that's where it needs to be monitored.
You have a billionaire, John Ruiz at Miami, who just giving people condos and new cars. Same thing I told you last year at Texas that happened, but that's not happening at Pitt in that degree.
And we're here at Pitt, they're doing it the right way. They're making sure we all get what we need and what we deserve, and kids aren't abusing it. So that's the best thing I can say. I mean, I'm hoping to get some myself here, but we'll see. time will tell. I'm an offensive lineman. I'm not the quarterback, so we'll see.
Hey, Jake, always great to have you on. I wish you the best of luck this year, your final year at Pitt, and have a great season. And I want to get you on next year after you're drafted into the NFL.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate it.
Good luck this year.
Yep.
All right, buddy. Hey, I'll be right back with Al and George.
Armstrong Comfort Solutions wants to help you get your home ready for warmer weather. Our cooling experts have the tools and technology to keep you comfortable all summer long. Get a free estimate on a new home air conditioner and ensure your home's AC system is summer ready with a safety clean and check. No matter what the weather brings this summer, your home will be comfortable all summer long. Call Armstrong Comfort Solutions today at 833-789-9100 or visit us online at armstrongcomfort.com.
I am back, joined to my right by the Swami, George Abraham, to my left, the Tiger, Albert Campman. Guys, is it just me? Jake Kradel on, now headed into his 6th year at Pitt. Hard to believe. It seemed like yesterday he was there. Now it's his 6th year.
Today's world of football. Wow, 6 years.
He has his undergraduate degree in finance, and he's at the Katz School of Business, world renowned, getting his MBA in finance.
He's coming back with a good offensive line, too, isn't he?
He's a good offensive line, and he has a chance, unofficially, as a regular player on the field, to have played more snaps and been played in more games than any other Pitt player in history.
I think he will. He stays healthy.
That's pretty significant. And let's go to Spotlight. Missed last week, PIAA track finals. I want to clear this up. Junior Eli Anderson of Slippery Rock High School. He was 3rd in the 300 meters, giving Butler County the top 3 places in that event. Levi Prementine, of course, was 1st, and Isaac Wetzel of Freeport was 2nd. So I wanted to correct that up. And District 9 2A softball, I mistakenly said Monotol's season was over at 12-10 following a loss to Cranberry. Not true. The Warriors then went on to beat Johnsonburg 7-3. And then in a District 9 2A consolation game, that was Emily Staub had 3 hits, including a 2-run homer. Then they beat Kernsville 10-6 to claim 2nd place, District 9.
Never heard of a playback second place.
Yeah.
First time I've ever heard of it.
And I'm going to tell you what the problem is later with 6A.
I don't like that in basketball.
Emma Covert, who's the KESAC MVP, she had a double, triple, and 3 RBIs. So Monotol 14-10 will now take on District 10 champion Sharpsville.
They got beat yesterday.
Was that what happened? Didn't get the results in.
Yeah, they got beat.
And in baseball, WPL 6A championship, Mount Lebanon 4, North Allegheny nothing. It wasn't just that Mount Lebanon won, but their sophomore left-handed pitcher, David Shields, threw a no-hitter at the Tigers. He's a coveted player as a quarterback, 6'3", 210, just a sophomore. He's a Miami recruit. How about this? Mount Lebanon started the season off 0-8. This might be the greatest comeback ever in WPL history.
I wonder how that could happen. I'd like to know how it happened, what happened.
And win 13 out of their next 15 games.
I read about him that he's going to give up all sports except for baseball. So, so we're going to see if that's true. And they'll be out recruiting him to play other sports.
Get out of Pennsylvania if he's going to do that.
And NA now will 16-7. They'll take on McDowell 15-7. And in 3A, Riverside still undefeated, 21-0. They win the WPL championship, 6-1 over Neshannock. Bo Fornataro had 3 hits, and our sophomore pitcher, star Christian Lucarelli, he's a Duke recruit. He went 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, 6 walks, 8 Ks. Hunter Garvin, he finished it up with a 2 1/3 shutout innings.
Hunter Garvin's only a sophomore, too.
There you go. And for Coach Dan Oliastro, he's a tying record 6th WPL championship, 688 career wins. Congratulations to him and his team.
I saw him on the float at the Memorial Day parade. The team and coaches.
When we had him,
pretty proud, right?
you talk about old school. When we had him on, he showed up here with a suit on. And we're going to have him on, too. Hopefully they can bring home another championship with them. The next up for them, they will take on Tyrone 12-11 at Riverside. In softball, 6A title game, Hempfield 2, Seneca Valley 1. And on an 8th inning home run by number 9 hitter Mia Banderasante from Hempfield, only the 2nd home run given up by Haynes this year. Ironically, the last 2 games that she pitched, Riley Miller threw 8 innings, had 11 Ks for Hempfield. So despite their 17-2 record, they're going nowhere, Seneca Valley, because there are too few teams in 6A. So they're going to stay home with that record. Other teams that have lost 8 and 9 games, like Plymouth White Marsh, Penridge, and Mifflin, they're all headed to the playoffs.
That's the way Pennsylvania's set up, and I can never figure it out. But the East and the West, that's the way it's divided.
It's
It's
the
because
amount
of the
of
size.
teams.
And you have arguably the best pitcher in the
Yeah,
state,
but I
Lexi
mean,
Haynes,
yeah.
and she's not going to
Well,
be in the
there's
state
20
playoffs.
schools that size down east, and there's 6 out here.
And we know the problem it is in football with only
Same
5,
in all
6, 8
sports,
teams.
yeah, it's all
Yeah,
sports.
you're doing replays in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Every round in that 6A.
So in 6A out east, as you say, there are about 20-some teams.
Then A size.
Only 5 here. And then you look at the other end, there are many more 1A teams here than there are out in the east.
Right, a lot of rural mailmen out here.
So
No,
how-
that's the way it is. And and I'm not talking schools down there. I'm not talking Butler size. I'm talking NA size.
Yeah, Butler size is way down. That
But you're
heyday
still
is
6A
over.
though.
You're talking more Seneca Valley
Yeah,
and North Allegheny
yes,
size
yeah.
in that regard.
Reading, you could put them both together.
But it's just a shame. There you are at 17
Oh, yeah.
and 2. You lose a championship game 2-1 in extra innings, and you're home for the rest of the year. There's something that has to be done to fix this somehow. I think that's why out here in the West, that's why they're talking about including the attendance for the other programs.
Like VOTEC, you mean?
VOTEC
Okay.
programs, so they could boost that 6A level and move more teams in.
Yeah, 16 doesn't make sense. I'm saying we said it wrong.
5 teams. Yeah.
5. Okay, think about
Wait a
that.
minute. Now think about this in Albert, how it's changed. When it was 4A, we used to get 10 teams out of the 16.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we don't even have 10 teams.
Well, when you had 4A, you had what? 16, 18 4A football teams at the top classification.
Oh, for sure.
You had 4 conferences. then.
Yes.
Now you're down to 5. It's just a round robin. They play everyone
Absolutely.
all
We
over
make fun of
again.
it every year.
Yeah, same
We're
thing.
good at making fun of things. That's what I'm thinking about. You're going to play that team week 4.
Yeah.
You're going to play them again week 11.
All you have
know.
to know is the one year I think Campman finished 3-8, and they made the playoffs. Their coach was voted coach of the year.
There you go,
Remember,
right
we
there.
had one down at Seneca one time, Hempfield, and it was a massacre.
Yeah. All right, let's go to our stories of the week. Hey, the Pirates, after a 6-19 run, now won 6 in a row. They're 32-27. They're half place ahead of the Brewers. A half game, I should say, ahead of the Brewers' first place in the division. The Brewers lost 2-0 to Cincy. They're at 32-28. The Pirates have turned things around, went through a rough stretch, won the last 2 in Frisco to win the first series of the month in May, then swept their nemesis, the Cardinals, 3 straight. And here's what's nice about it. They haven't finished ahead of the Cardinals in the division since 1999.
If ever was your year, this is the year it's going to happen. If ever it's going to happen.
They got beat again last night.
Yeah,
And then they won their 6th straight, did the Pirates coming from behind to beat Oakland 5-4. This is Oakland's 15th straight loss. They're now 12-50. They're on pace to finish 33-129. That will be the worst all time. Correct me, George, because the Cleveland Spiders in 1899.
Bill Boren was there.
Bill Bourne was there. Their record was 30-124. So this would be the all-time worst.
My worst ever is the Mets when they're going to
42.
They're going to beat that easy, aren't they, Al?
Yes.
33-129.
Now, this is the worst team.
15 straight road games they lost.
George and I talked about it.
Yeah.
It's an embarrassment to baseball.
And-
George thinks they lost on purpose.
And at home,
Yeah.
they're drawing like 8,600, which is going to go down.
But he wants that, so he
Yeah.
can justify in his mind going to Vegas. 'Cause
Well,
in
they're going to
they'll be
Vegas.
Fine.
And they want that $1.5 billion stadium, but it's not a done deal because there's some argument there between the private sector, what they're contributing, and taxpayer money. And a lot of people are saying taxpayers are paying way too much money.
Well, it's an ongoing
Where is it?
Vegas.
Vegas.
Okay.
But the biggest union in Vegas are supporting the move.
Absolutely.
So that's,
biggest
that means
thing.
it's going to happen.
It's
I mean,
jobs.
it's going to happen.
It's jobs. You know, this thing is not, and the other thing that you guys are alluding to, when they were good, people went. See, they're saying now they get 8,000 a game. Well, yeah, because they stink.
They stink.
They're really past
The-
that.
the-
Yeah.
the-
That's the worst team
Yeah.
I've ever.
Yeah.
I've ever.
I
That
know.
tells you something. I'm a baseball fanatic.
I know.
This is by far.
and the stadium
The worst team I've
stinks,
ever seen.
literally. And
Yeah, literally.
the area has become crime infested.
Yeah.
It's just they can't wait to get out
Well,
of
the
there.
Warriors got out and didn't look back. How many times did Al Davis leave?
Twice.
Okay, there you go.
Hey, the Pirates, top minor league players, they have two outstanding catchers, even though Eric Rodriguez is struggling at the plate, hitting .234 this season at AAA. Henry Davis is just now promoted from AA to AAA. So here's my question. Why not make one of them a first baseman catcher? Why have two catchers battling for that same position?
Well, I truly believe I think I have the answer. They're using the Tampa Bay approach, and they're going to show everybody they got two great catchers. Guess what they're going to get?
Yeah.
They're going to get 3 pitchers for them, and that's their plan. One of them's not going to be there.
I like to
Yeah.
see him keep both and make one of first baseman and a catcher.
Well, the guy
He
in the
can-
major's about 170. How about that? How about last night? He takes straight
Yeah.
three right
Right.
down the middle. You couldn't have put it in the catcher's but and he walks away like complaining like he knows what the strike zone is.
Yeah, and the other thing, listen, I know Bay's a nice center fielder, but if I hear one more time, he runs to the gap, makes a catch, the other gap great play, great. That's what a center fielder should do. Run into the gaps and make a catch. It should. If he can't do that, he shouldn't be a center fielder. I hear so
Well,
much.
that one dude's going to get hurt out there.
it's a
'cause
great
he can't
player.
catch at all.
Who's that? Swidinsky.
Yeah, my goodness.
Sawinski.
He can hit.
Yes,
can
he
long
can.
ball.
Hey guys, Major League
Oh, wait a minute, I
Baseball.
don't want to go to the Pirates. If we're going to talk Pirates, we've said it on the show. I know I have. The game is all about one thing in Major League Baseball: bullpen. That's all.
Oh, the Pirates
everything
bullpen's
else.
been
No,
tremendous.
no, it's the best.
Yeah,
and that's
it's
why
been-
they're winning. They used to lose
Right.
4 in the sixth and lose 7. Their bullpen now gives
Okay.
nothing up.
Yeah.
It's a bullpen-driven league completely. Congratulations to Charrington for bringing in players that had no idea they
Bednar
were.
12 saves.
Well, I know how great he is. But
Yeah.
I'm talking about the rest of them have been great.
The
So-
other day, that 5-0 game, they would have got to 8 or 9 in the old days.
For sure.
Right. So we said last week that after they were in that tailspin, chances to win 70. Now it looks like the better chance for
Up
them
and down,
to
you
win
never know.
70.
Oh, they're winning 7.
Up and down.
But you never should
Yeah,
never
yeah.
know how they get there.
And the series coming with Milwaukee will be really interesting.
Mhm.
Really. Now, Major League Baseball, here's some talk, expand to 32 teams. Good idea, bad idea?
I don't like a lot of teams myself because I'm old-fashioned. I understand that. But there's a lot of cities that are
I'm going to say
They want it.
Charlotte and Indy.
That's
they
what
want
it
it.
is.
There's cities that want it.
Well, there's
Charlotte
30
wants
now.
one real
2
bad.
more. I don't. No, as Al said, there are already too many. What's
Right.
Yeah, 2 more.
Charlotte's made a big play for the A's, didn't get him.
Right.
Indy wants a Major League Baseball team.
Yeah.
So
Indy's been a Pirates
Yeah.
AAA for a
Yeah.
long time, huh?
for a long time, right?
Absolutely.
Hey, let's look at hockey. The Fenway Sports Group and the Pens hire 37-year-old Kyle Dubas as their new president of hockey operations. He will also take over the position for the time being as general manager. His last 5 years at Toronto were really good. They averaged around 45 to 50 wins a season, just didn't do well postseason play. He parted ways with the president over philosophical differences, which in layman terms was a lot of animosity existed between the two. He and Coach Sullivan seemed to be on the same page. They want a team with speed, where Sullivan and Hextall were at odds. Hextall wanted a bigger physical team. The question is, guys, can he restore the National Hockey League's oldest roster?
Well, I have to know the cap and the money they have available. If they have money available, it can be done.
They've told him he could buy out contracts.
Okay. Then he can do it then.
Well, that means you want rid of the old guys, right?
Some of them have to go. He has to bring in some new blood for that team. It's time
Yeah, yeah.
to move ahead and do that. Now, a lot of people like him because they say he's an analytic guru. He's going to strengthen and build up their analytics department. We
Good
all
luck
know
on that.
Yeah, good luck
All
with
the
that.
sports are
Yeah.
all
Analytic gurus
absolutely.
everywhere. And I hear more and more calls because of controversy in baseball. We need bring on the robots. Bring on the robots. It's just a matter of time before that happens. Hey, let's look at, can Florida come back? They're down 2-0 to Vegas. They've been battered 5-2 and 7-2. And Bobrovsky, the goalie, he's spent. Florida had some real battles there with Boston. I don't think they have anything left in the tank.
Oh, I think they do.
Do you?
I think they go back to this. It's a home ice in the final. Get the finals. Yeah, we'll see. I think Florida will win the first one for sure. I don't know what's going to happen in game 2, but yeah, it'll turn around. It will turn around.
We look at TV ratings for the hockey playoffs. Not sure yet what's come about with the Stanley Cup Finals, but it's just like 1.33 million.
That's hockey.
Yeah, that's
it's a niche sport. It's a niche sport, really is. It's not. I don't watch the LA Kings, so it's not. It's a niche sport.
Now we go to the NBA. Denver wins the first game 104-93. Jokic 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists. Tremendous game. Game 2, Miami came back to win 111-108 despite Jokic having 41 points. I still like Denver in 6 games. What do you guys think?
I said George knows him. I've talked about it many times with him. If Murray plays well, Denver will win. If he doesn't, Miami's going to win. That's what I see.
All right, looking at the NFL, former Steeler running back Le'Veon Bell, he wants to retire as a Steeler. In the recent podcast, he admitted to smoking marijuana before every game. That was a shocking revelation.
How about they opened the door down there on Route 19? They thought it was Cheech and Chong in the car, him and that other. It was a game
Antonio Brown.
They were riding to the bus to go to Philly for exhibition games.
Hey, and how about Kenny Pickett? He's doing a promo at a car dealership, and he has his SUV stolen with the Steeler playbook in it. They found the Steeler playbook, and all 3 offensive pages were in.
Yeah. It was still there. It was like this.
No one wanted it.
How about yesterday? The guy didn't show for court.
Oh,
now he's in big trouble.
Hey, Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland guys, he wants his former teammate at Houston, 30-year-old DeAndre Hopkins, to join him in Cleveland. Do they have enough cap space to bring him in there? Would that be a big boost to them?
Big boost for any team.
Yeah.
He's a great player. And
Would you say, George, he's got monster hands?
Love it. It's D-Hop. Now, once again, he's not going to practice on Wednesday. You got to know that.
He's never practicing.
Now
think about having think about a player who has a chance to be a Hall of Famer that they get rid of. People just keep getting rid of him.
Remember, O'Brien was the GM and coach and got rid of him because he couldn't take him.
Right.
Now think about that.
Amazing.
It's just the way things are anymore.
It's
Hey, next week I have a lot to say about college football and some of the complaints coming from the top about Nick Saban, who's worried about the competitive balance. Much about that next week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.
Did you know that you could get fast, reliable Zoom internet for as little as $4.95 per month with ACP? Armstrong is participating in the FCC's Affordable Connectivity Program, which helps eligible households receive a credit of up to $30 per month on their internet bill. This program will also increase and improve broadband infrastructure throughout the U.S., especially in rural areas. There's no need to call. Visit ArmstrongOneWire.com/ACP or scan the QR code on your screen for more information and to apply.
From high school sports to community events and beyond, you can find all of your favorite local shows on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Hi, I'm Tricia from the Butler Buzz. You can watch my show or other local programming like Up for Adoption or Hunting Nostalgia, only on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Check us out right now on Channel 100 or search Armstrong Neighborhood Channel on YouTube for playlists and much more. Spirit, town pride, community. This is the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.